This resort has historically been my family's all-time favorite Walt Disney World resort, but recently we've been shying away from actually staying here. I'm going to tell you all of the reasons why I think you'd love this resort, why we're hesitant to stay here, where we will stay when we do stay here again, and more. Welcome back to the Resort Mom. My name is Marianne. My family and I have been traveling to Walt Disney World about every other month since my youngest was 3 months old. We have stayed at every single Walt Disney World resort and multiple off-site resorts and multiple Disneyland resorts. So I am here to tell you about all things resorts because we firmly believe that our family has some of the most magical Disney experiences actually at the resorts. And sometimes I might even say that it's better than the park. So let's do a deep dive. Today we are talking all about Disney's Polynesian Resort. So to kick it off, let me just give you like an overview about the resort. So Disney's Polynesian Resort and Villas, I'll break that down in a second. This is located in the Magic Kingdom area. So this is a Magic Kingdom resort. It does have monorail access, so you will be able to take the monorail both directly to Magic Kingdom and to Epcot through the Transportation and Ticket Center. Here at the Polynesian, this is definitely and obviously inspired by Polynesian culture. You'll have influences of Lilo and Stitch, Moana, and so you will have that like tropical getaway vibe, which is awesome to have at Disney. It really is that slice of relaxation and island vibe that you need coming out of the parks. So because it's a Magic Kingdom area resort, what the Polynesian is so well known for are the fireworks on the beach. You can see the Magic Kingdom fireworks at night from the beach at the Polynesian and sometimes from your room, depending if you have a theme park view room or not. The Polynesian Resort opened with Walt Disney World in 1971. It is one of the original 2 resorts at Walt Disney World, that and the Contemporary. Obviously, it's very attractive to a lot of people because it has that tropical vibe. You're overlooking the Seven Seas Lagoon, you have the beach, you've got the tiki torches going, and it just is a fun island vibe. Have a few different areas of the resort. This resort has recently gotten a little bigger because it recently added the Island Tower, which is a Disney Vacation Club tower that sits between Disney's Polynesian Resort and over towards the Grand Floridian Wedding Pavilion. So it kind of sits like right in between the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian. Obviously, it's closer to the Polynesian, but you can walk to the Grand Floridian from it. Then you also have your standard rooms. These are just, by standard, I mean non-DVC, so they're not a Disney Vacation Club room. These are your regular resort rooms at the Polynesian that are now themed to Moana. They had a refresh and they look incredible. They're very beautiful rooms. You have your standard hotel room, right? Room type where it's just your regular hotel deluxe room. And then you have some suite options as well. You have water view here, which keep in mind that water view can constitute as a pool view, so just FYI. And then you also have theme park view, which you can have a view of Magic Kingdom and the Magic Kingdom fireworks. And then you also have resort view, which honestly is very peaceful because the Polynesian is very lush and tropical. And in my opinion, you can't really get a bad view here. Also do have additional Disney Vacation Club DVC rooms here at the Polynesian that are outside of the Island Tower. So those are predominantly in, I think it's like the Maria building, but these are very popular rooms for families, especially those with young kids that need a pack and play. They're a very decent, large size. I would even say large. I don't know square footage wise, but it's a very big studio room. It does have the Murphy bed, but the selling point is that it has 2 bathrooms, and so a lot of people will put a pack and play in one of the 2 bathrooms. And in my opinion, these are the best deluxe studio option on Walt Disney World property. I just think they're phenomenal rooms. Then you have the bungalows, which is one of the most luxurious accommodations at Walt Disney World. They are the literal bungalows that you would find like in Bora Bora or something. Obviously, the water of the Seven Seas Lagoon is not clear and blue and beautiful. It's dirty and ugly, but it's a vibe. So you have the bungalows that overlook Magic Kingdom that are there on the Seven Seas Lagoon, which are super cool. I've never personally stayed in one, but they look fun. Another selling point of this resort is the dining. So you have one of the most famous restaurants on Walt Disney World property, Ohana. This is a character breakfast in the morning. So it is a character dining experience that is family style. They will bring the food to your table. And here you will meet characters Lilo, Stitch, Mickey in his little like luau outfit, and Pluto. We love Ohana. It's very, very good. We have eaten here a few different times and the kids love it. It's a super fun atmosphere and we absolutely love the pineapple bread. Right now, it's probably a little sensitive to talk about it because it's currently under construction and kind of a nightmare situation, but when it's good, it's good. Ohana is also open for dinner and it is also family style, and they are really known for their noodles, and it's a really good dinner as well. My husband and I have come here a few times, some with the kids, sometimes not. And yeah, we really like Ohana dinner. You can see the fireworks while you're eating dinner, depending on where your table is, and yeah, it's just a really cool vibe. Speaking of noodles, you also have Tambu Lounge, which is right next to Ohana. This is a lounge, drinks, cocktails, but you can also sit and order noodles here, unless that's changed. But you can sit there, have your noodles from Ohana, and chef's kiss. Also, you have Kona Cafe here. I actually love Kona Cafe. I actually might, don't hate me, I might like the food at Kona Cafe better than Ohana, but obviously the experience at Ohana over Kona. Kona has really great food. They are known for their Tonga toast, which is like a stuffed, like French toast type situation. It's very good. It's honestly not my favorite. I think that they have better options than that personally, but Kona is very well known for their Tonga toast, and they are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's a great table service restaurant that they have at the Polynesian. Also, upstairs, they have the Kona Cafe coffee, which is phenomenal. In my opinion, this is the best coffee on Walt Disney World property is at Kona. So not at the restaurant, but they actually have like a coffee bar like next to the restaurant, and just love, love, love their coffee. I feel like you're either a Kona coffee girl or you're a Riviera coffee girl. I forget what they call that, like almond. Everybody gets it at the Riviera at Le Petit Cafe, but I feel like you're one or the other. I am definitely a Kona coffee girl. And then downstairs you have Captain Cook's, which is their quick service dining option. I actually love Captain Cook's. It's one of our favorite quick service restaurants on property. I really like their pork nachos and, well, really everything. The meatballs, everything in my opinion is great. You also have Pineapple Lanai, which is right next to Captain Cook's, and that is where you can get your Dole Whip, because you can't stay at the Polynesian and not get Dole Whip. The other thing that the Polynesian is very well known for is Trader Sam's, which is the bar that is here. It is very hard to get a reservation. My family, my husband and I personally don't drink alcohol, so we have never been. We just honestly haven't wanted to wait in line and do the experience. But I've heard it is just so fun and definitely a must-do if you're staying at the Polynesian. I've heard the drinks are good, the atmosphere is good. It's just like a really cool overall experience, not just good drinks, but like the overall vibe. So one of the pluses about the Polynesian is all of those food options that they have available, and that is just in the main area. So when you pull up to the Polynesian Resort, you're either going to go to two entrances. You're going to go through the Polynesian area, or you're going to go like to the main lobby, or you're going to go to the DVC area. Separate DVC entrance if you're staying at the new Island Tower. So over at the Island Tower, you have an additional dining option, which is Wailulu Grill. We absolutely love Wailulu Grill. It's so good. Their cheeseburger, I think it's called the Wayfinder cheeseburger, 10 out of 10. The ahi nachos, 10 out of 10. Truly, in my opinion, I would probably forfeit going to Kona and Ohana, and I would book it over to Wailulu if I wanted like a nice chill like place to eat dinner if I'm staying at the Polynesian, or if you're just coming to visit. Wailulu also does do like a grab and go breakfast situation in the morning. So just FYI, if you are staying at the new Island Tower and you want to pop in and do like a grab and go breakfast, they do have a few options on the menu for you. But it is not like as robust of offerings as Captain Cook's. So if you're like, I want Mickey waffles, I want whatever, walk over to Captain Cook's. We've talked about rooms. We've talked about food. I think the next transition is to talk about the club level here at Disney's Polynesian Resort. The club level here at Disney's Polynesian Resort is called King Kamehameha I think that's how you pronounce it. Please tell me in the comments if I'm pronouncing it wrong. The King Kamehameha Club is located in the Hawaii building, which is like, if you come out of the lobby, you have like this big green grassy area. You have the lava pool, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. And then you have, if you keep walking straight, right to the right before you get to the beach is the Hawaii building. I will do a full video on what it means and what it is to stay club level or concierge level at Walt Disney World. But just know that staying club level, it is a premium price. So you will have like a room just like the other resort rooms that are available that are not club level rooms, but you just have added amenities like toothbrush, robe, slippers, like stuff like that. In my opinion, nothing that's like worth saying that the room is different, because it's really not, other than the amenities that you may have. Some club level room options might be a little bigger than the standard rooms, but typically they're pretty much the same room. I am going to be very honest about the King Kamehameha Club. We love the Polynesian, and the first time we stayed at the King Kamehameha Lounge, we were like, this is so cool, Polynesian. Now that we have stayed at the other club level lounges, I just don't find it as great as the others. As far as ambiance, 10 out of 10, like vibes, 10 out of 10, incredible. You walk into the Hawaii building, you do have to scan outside. So they have those like longhouse style. So that's like the style of the rooms at the Polynesian, are the different longhouses. And so you walk in and you have concierge, they're greeting you, so friendly, and they are there basically to help with any reservations, questions you have about the resort, needs that you may have that come up. It is just a dedicated concierge service team and cast members for club level guests. You also have like a mini fridge down there. They typically have pog juice and some light snacks. And then you go upstairs to the second floor. This is where the main part of the lounge is. So when you stay club level at Walt Disney World, you have access to their lounge, which is basically in the morning they'll have breakfast offerings. In midday they will have like snacks, and then at dinner they will have heavy hors d'oeuvres. Now I'll talk a little more about this in my full in-depth club level video, but I think if you're staying club level for like a week, or more than a few nights, you're not going to want to eat there for every meal, and I don't think that you can fill up and like actually be able to eat there for every single meal throughout your stay. Some people expect that. I would not have that expectation. So I will say that aesthetically, it is just gorgeous in there. It's themed to Moana. You have the big windows that look out over the beach, and they look out to Magic Kingdom. So it's very popular to sit in there and watch the fireworks. Great lounge that has, your coffee, your drinks, and then again, all of your offerings, and then alcohol, select alcohol available as well. And then when you go up the stairs to the third floor within that lounge, it's like an open air lounge. So you have the second floor of the longhouse, and then on the third floor, it's like an open air. So you like walk up the stairs, and it's like a balcony, like mezzanine type style. And this is where like the kids area is. So they have a TV, little kids tables, some additional seating, and then they have a bathroom upstairs, which is awesome. I know it sounds so weird, but I always like to highlight when a club level lounge has a bathroom in the lounge itself, because on your check-in day or your checkout day, if you don't have access to your room, it is really nice if the lounge has a bathroom for you to use, so you don't have to like leave and go hunt all over the place to try to find a bathroom. Like I know for the Contemporary, you actually have to go downstairs and find a bathroom, and then for the Grand Floridian at Royal Palm Club, you either have to go to your room or you have to go up to Citricos and go to that bathroom up there, or downstairs in the lobby. So it is really nice that they have a bathroom available for you in the lounge. Now, besides the ambiance, the experience, the aesthetic, the reason why we weren't like loving this lounge is just because of the food offerings, to be completely honest. I don't know if it was just whatever was on rotation when we were staying there, but it didn't feel like a lot of options. They have like the ice cream sundae bar. I'm trying to think of like what even we had, and we did have like a diverse option, but here's the other thing is that like, I hear that you can get spring rolls, that they have at Adventureland. I hear that you can get Ohana noodles. It really just depends on what they have. on the menu. But I will say that, to note, when you are staying club level, it's important that you understand the nature of the cuisine of that resort, because that's going to be what you're served at the lounge. There are always options. They try to provide one option for kids. So whether that's like, you know, chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, or hot dogs, or like something, they try mac and cheese. Like, they try to always have one like kid-friendly option especially at dinner time, hors d'oeuvre time, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, please note that, like, if you are not an adventurous eater, then I would make sure that you're looking at the types of cuisines that they have at the restaurants that are on that property, because that is where they are getting their food. So we love the food at the Polynesian. I just think that the offerings when we went were just not as robust and great. And I have heard that from other people as well. I also, from my memory, I don't think that they had Mickey bars in this club level, which I know is like not the end of the world for some people, but if you have kiddos, it's just a perk of staying club level. Like, most of the club level lounges have coolers and fridges where you can get freezers where you can get Mickey bars and all of that. So yeah, I'm not trying to discourage you from staying club level at the Polynesian. I just think, like, in my opinion, that certain club level lounge is very overhyped. It's good, and I was happy I went. I was happy I did it, but it's not one that we're rushing back to by any means. Okay, so let's talk about pools and amenities. You have 3 pools here at the Polynesian. You have the main pool, which is called the lava pool, and it is behind the lobby. So you have that big grassy area behind the lobby, which is awesome. You'll always find kids running around and playing here. Our kiddos love it. This is where they do the movie Under the Stars. They do some recreation activities out here, and it's just a really fun spot. So right behind that, you have the lava pool, which also has the like tiki splash pad. Ooh, I got a hair. Which also has the tiki splash pad. And then it does have a cool slide as well. But yeah, this is a very great zero entry pool. It is probably the most popular pool. That's the busiest pool, but it is really cool. Your second pool is the Oasis pool. That is behind, I'm trying to think of what building it is, but it's like, if you were to walk and you have the lava pool right here, you're going to go right, like you're going towards the Maria building. It's not that far. It's like literally right here behind this longhouse. I can't think of the name that's right here, but it's right behind this longhouse. Like, if this is the grass, there's a longhouse right here, and it's right over there. That's the Oasis pool. That is like the quiet pool. The nice thing about the Oasis pool is that I do think it opens earlier than the other pool. So I think the lava pool opens at 10, and I think the Oasis pool actually opens at 7. Please don't quote me on this, because it may have changed, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Great pool bar. It's just much more relaxing over there, so that's another great option. If you're bringing your kids over there, just make sure that they're not like intense, because people are going over there to enjoy the quiet pool. You got to make sure you're honoring that. So we don't spend a lot of time over there. And then your third pool, which is new because it's at the Island Tower, is called the Cove Pool. In my opinion, this is a really great pool. It's also very calm and relaxing, but it's not technically a quiet pool. But yeah, it's zero entry, great pool. And then this is where the Moana splash pad is. And I will say, splash pad is very generous. So the lava pool splash pad, I don't know if it technically has a name for the actual splash pad or if it's just called like the lava pool that has the splash pad, but it's the one with the little tiki men. This one is good. It can be like a little intense for kids. It does have like some buckets that drop, but in my opinion, not as intense as Grand Floridian's bucket drop and Wilderness Lodge's bucket drop. But the Moana splash pad, which is Moana on her ship, this is very underwhelming. My kids thought it was really cool. They enjoyed it for about 5 minutes, and then they were like, okay, this is for babies, we're moving on. So I think if you have like an infant, a 2-year-old, like this is perfect for them because they can actually like walk around, and it's a whole thing. But for older kids, this is going to be a very underwhelming splash pad. I kind of was disappointed. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more, but I also do understand and respect that they kind of balanced it out. So you have your lava pool splash pad, and then you have this, which is more of like, I would call it a water feature instead of calling it a splash pad. We'll put it that way. It is completely gated and fenced in, which we love. We love that as moms. As far as amenities, I do want to talk about this one. They do not have a community hall here, which is a bummer to me because my kids love community hall and it's just like a place where you can go and play inside. They also do not have an arcade here, which to note, you know, it's just not available. I think it's because it doesn't go with the theming. And I'll talk about a couple things that the Polynesian is missing, but they are intentionally missing it because of theming. But yeah, there's not an arcade here. Big bummer. And I don't even know if I want to share this because it might just be sad, but they did used to have Lilo's Playhouse, and it was literally a place where you could come and drop your kids off and have childcare. Can we bring that back, Disney? Because I know that building is just sitting there. Or now it's just been converted into like a convention meeting room. But can we petition to bring Lilo's Playhouse back, please? They also do have a gym at the Polynesian. It's at the bottom of the New Island Tower. I will note that it's like windows right here on the sidewalk, and you kind of feel like a zoo animal a little bit. So just FYI, that may not bother some people, but just be aware of that. Other amenities and things to do, you do have the beach, which is awesome. Kids love playing on the beach. And then you also do have the boat. So I mentioned the monorail, and we'll talk about transportation in a minute. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about it now. So you have a boat that the boat will take you to the Magic Kingdom. It is a shared boat with the Grand Floridian. So you will share the boat with Grand Floridian. So you could even take a boat ride over to the Grand Floridian if you wanted to. But you'll have boat access to Magic Kingdom, and you'll also have monorail access to Magic Kingdom. Technically, if you really wanted to, you could walk to Magic Kingdom. You would have to walk to the Grand Floridian and then walk from the Grand Floridian to the Magic Kingdom. I would not recommend that. However, if you are staying at Epcot and you are on the right side of the Polynesian Resort, so if you are in the Moorea building, which is that DVC building, that is not the tower, to go to Epcot, you can walk to the Transportation Ticket Center, and I would actually do that and get on the monorail to Epcot there rather than riding it all the way around to the TTC and then getting off and getting on the Epcot. I would actually go through security and just walk that way. If you're on the complete opposite side of the Polynesian Resort and at the new tower, it may not be as time beneficial, but I did want to throw that out there that is an option. We have taken that walking path multiple times, and it's very pretty and very easy. So as far as the other parks, so Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Disney Springs, Blizzard Beach, and Typhoon Lagoon, depending on where you're transferring, you'll go to one of those others. If you're going to any of those places, it will be on the bus. And I will say that the Polynesian typically shares the bus with the Grand Floridian. It depends. Now, I love to throw this out because people will be like, oh, I shared a bus this time, I didn't share a bus this time. It truly depends. It depends on a lot of things. Technical difficulty, driver availability, bus breakdowns, or just overall busyness of the season. But do know and do not be surprised if you're sharing a bus with the Grand Floridian, which can mean multiple stops, which can mean that it can take you a little bit to get some places if you're taking the bus. So when you walk into the lobby, it is a really cool lobby. And I will say, like, that to me is one of the reasons why I like a resort and don't like a resort. And I'm just going to be honest about it. Like, I want to be wowed when I walk in the front door. And I think that's why I don't think I really mentioned this in my boardwalk video, but I think that's why, like, the boardwalk at first just doesn't do it for me, because the lobby doesn't wow me. Like, it's pretty and it's cool, but you don't walk in and you're like, wow. I feel like the Polynesian is one that you may not be like, wow, immediately, but it's open air, so it looks big. You've got Maui, who is actually the tiki version, like the demigod Maui. That is the statue, like when you walk in. So the Great Ceremonial House, that's what they call the lobby. And you'll walk in, and if you are checking in, you will get laid. So they do have the fake lays. Something I will say, and I do have a contact if you want it. My best friend, when we checked into the new Island Tower, which I'll break down the Island Tower next, but she actually has someone local that is from Hawaii who does handmade orchid lays, and so we actually got to check in, and she had asked this lady to come out and hired her to come and make these lays for us, and they were absolutely gorgeous. So if you want a little elevated boost to your Polynesian stay, definitely reach out to her because they were beautiful and they smelled amazing. So yes, beautiful lobby. You have a gift shop over here to your left on the main level. You've got Captain Cook's in the back, Trader Sam's back there as well. And then you have the big doors that go out to that grassy area I was talking about with Pineapple Lanai, where you get your Dole Whip. And then you can go up the stairs. So the second floor will take you to the monorail station, which is out front. You'll go through security up there and then get on the monorail. And then you also have Moana's Mercantile up there, which is another, like, this is more of like a kid's gift shop, like toys. And then they also have like snacks and drinks and stuff like that that you can get. And then you have the coffee shop up there, the Kona Cafe, Ohana, and Tambu Lounge. And so just an overall like super cool vibe. And then at the new Island Tower, when you pull in, just FYI, you do have to have a reservation. Like you have to have your Magic Band to get in over at the Island Tower. But when you get over there, you walk in, beautiful lobby. They don't have like check-in desks or anything, but they do have cast members, you know, with their tablets. Just overall beautiful lounge. That's actually what we inspired our porch from, is just the aesthetic in there, just neutral, gorgeous. And yes, you will find a lot of really cool Polynesian history and references in here. A lot of Moana, like you'll see the boat, you'll see like just a lot of really cool cultural influences that they've weaved together with Moana. And they just did, in my opinion, a very tasteful job with the designs in here. Some people feel like it's very sad beige and underwhelming, but I truly feel like it is, they did it in a way and intentionally to honor sustainability, which I really love. And I think that like the history behind the design and like the choices that they make is actually like super cool. So aesthetically, I know that like some people are like, oh, it feels sad beige, but they intentionally made decisions for it to like model a more like sustainable Polynesian vibe. So yeah, so the lobby, beautiful seating area, tables and chairs, and then you also have Wailulu Grill. So you can enter Wailulu Grill from in that lobby of the new tower. Then behind the new tower, you have chairs so you can sit outside. They do have a little beach, but it's very small compared to the other beach. And then you have hammocks. You have hammocks on the other beach as well, and like swings, but yeah, so you have that. And then you also have like a little grassy area that you can play at that is like connected to the pool. And then they have chairs and seating out there for the fireworks. Now, something to note about the rooms that I did want to call out here is about the balcony situation. A lot of people will complain that they don't get a balcony here at the Polynesian. Just note that the way that traditional longhouses are built and structured, that's the reason why if you are on the second floor of most of the buildings, I think they added them on later for DVC, but if you are on the second floor of a traditional Polynesian resort longhouse, you will not have a balcony, and that is because of the structural design of a longhouse. So the third floor rooms will have a balcony, the second floor will not, and then the first floor will have that walkout patio that you just like have the patio, and then they have just like tons of monkey grass just as a divider between that and like the beach area and the resort area. I think I've finished most of the nitty gritty and like the information side of the Polynesian resort. I feel like I've probably left out something, but in general, that's what you should know about the Polynesian resort. So let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the pros, the cons, and just things that I want you to be aware of. So the Polynesian is one of Disney's most expensive resorts. It is a very sought after resort. Supply demand, y'all. It's always going to be a very popular resort, and yeah, a lot of people are attracted to that tropical vibe. It's almost like the best of both worlds. Like you get to go to the Disney parks, and then you get to have like a little Hawaiian like island getaway vacation on the side. Because of that, naturally, the more dollars you're spending, the higher your expectation. So you do have good transportation options, but I will say that of the monorail resorts, you're kind of in the worst spot because you're not like first or last for anything for the monorail, and you don't have walkability where the Contemporary has walkability, the Grand Floridian has walkability, the Polynesian technically does, but I just wouldn't advise it. So I will note that. I love the Poly and love it so much I designed my porch after the Poly, and so I hate that I even like say this, but the Polynesian has gotten very, very, very busy. And typically you would think like a lot of the flagship, I'm going to say flagship resorts. It's not flagship. There's only one flagship resort, that's Grand Floridian. But like the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, like you get a lot of visitors here because people just want to come see the resort, right? It's like its own monument of Disney, and people love the Polynesian, and so they want to come and visit. And because it's on the monorail line, it is very easy to come and visit the Polynesian. But in my opinion, because of how the resort is laid out, it feels a lot more congested than like Grand Floridian, for instance, or the Contemporary. Well, no, the Contemporary is very congested. But the Poly just feels like there are always people visiting, and it's because they are. They're coming for Dole Whip, they're coming for Trader Sam's, they're coming for Ohana, and they are coming just to enjoy the Polynesian vibes. And so one downfall of having really popular restaurants is because you always have people coming in that aren't staying there. And that is what Disney designed the resorts to be, right? They would not allow those things to happen if they didn't want that to happen. However, I will say that recently, in our family's opinion, it's gotten a little out of hand, which is why for us personally, and this is my family's opinion, okay? I don't want to discourage you from booking at the Polynesian, because I will still continue to book at the Polynesian. I love the Polynesian. It will always be like in my heart our like favorite resort. Even though we are staying at other resorts more than we stay at the Polynesian, I just will always have this love and appreciation for the Poly. But I will say that for our family personally, we will likely mostly stay at the new Island Tower from now on. I feel like it's a lot less busy over there. We really like that vibe. You can rent DVC points over there. They have a bunch of different room options. And we really like being able to be in the middle of the Grand Floridian and the Poly, and like kind of, use both quick services as long as you can, to do your mobile order. And then we really like the Cove pool. It's just like a lot more quiet, but still fun for the kids. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we will naturally gravitate to the Island Tower now just because of that. It's less busy over there. And we really like the vibe, and you truly feel like, in my opinion, like some people say it looks like a Marriott, and yeah, maybe it does. Okay. It's a hotel tower. Of course it's going to model a Marriott at some capacity. We do like the Island Tower just because it's like a little away from all of the craziness that is the Polynesian. Also, you have a lot of people trying to come and watch fireworks here because it is a fabulous spot to watch fireworks from, but it's made Disney put up a lot more restrictions around it. So like definitely for like the 4th of July and all of that, like you have to show that you're staying at the resort to be able to go to the beach to watch the fireworks. So they definitely have like put parameters around it, but you definitely get a lot of guests here at the Polynesian, which is why it feels so crowded. So overall, who I think this resort is great for is also kind of everyone, truly. I think this is an awesome family resort. I think it's great for kids of all ages. It's so fun. Even though they don't have a playground, even though they don't have community hall or an arcade, there are so many other things to do. The kids love playing at the beach. They love being outside, walking around. You've got multiple different pool options that are great for kids. And truly, we just love the atmosphere of the Poly. I think there are so many different room types here, which also makes that very attractive. You've got tons of different dining options. And so overall, I just think that this is a really great family resort. I just do think it has gotten very, very busy. I don't particularly like rave about their club level. I think it's good, but after experiencing all of the others, I'm just kind of like, I don't know that I love it as much as I thought I did. But overall, like vibes and feeling like you're on vacation. I mean, there is just like nothing like chilling, watching your kids play on the beach, and you are just enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying like that tropical getaway vibe. The Poly's great, and we will always love the Poly. I do think that the Polynesian is definitely worth staying at. If you are okay with spending that amount of money. I know it is very pricey, but it also, and I mean, when you are putting that amount of money into it, you have a certain expectation, right? So just know that. Know that this is also an old resort. Like, I think a lot of people don't talk about that, and I know that that's why they're doing a lot of building and construction right now, that it is an old resort. It's you know, one of the OG2 resorts at Walt Disney World. So it's old. And I feel like the Contemporary, like people point that out about the Contemporary a lot, that it's like an old resort, but the Poly is too. It's a very old resort. And so Disney does their best with, you know, trying to maintain the resort, but just do note that it is old. So if you're looking to splurge and you're looking for that perfect balance of tropical vacation meets theme park energy, I really do recommend the Polynesian. Again, like when I call out things about a resort, it doesn't mean that I would tell you not to book here. It's mainly just because I want you to be aware of what you could potentially be walking into. But I definitely will always love the Polynesian. We will continue to stay here. We just have personally decided to scale back a little bit because our kids are enjoying some of the other resorts more that are less busy, or they at least feel less busy because of how they're laid out and structured, which we really want, like a very relaxing atmosphere, which is why we were initially drawn to the Polynesian so much, because it truly felt like, oh my God, we're relaxing, we're on an island getaway. And then the people just never stopped coming and visiting. And then we're like, this doesn't feel as relaxing anymore. But anyways, we'll always love the Poly. Clearly, yeah, if you've stayed at the Polynesian recently, or if it is your bucket list Disney resort, let me know in a comment down below. Thank you so much again for being here. If you listen to me yap this entire time, then leave me a dolphin emoji. Is there a dolphin emoji? I don't know. We're going to find out. Leave me a dolphin emoji in the comments, and thank you for being here. We will be doing many more resort reviews and experiences, so stay tuned. Bye.